Hi Aquarius. Hello my Aquarius friends. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for clicking on me because you have reached 10 of Cups Tarot, and this is Elsie. I'm your reader today, and anytime that you come to this channel, I will be the reader. So I just, first of all, I need to apologize, Aquarius, for not getting your reading out for the end of October. I've realized that I've run out of time. It is now the 27th or the 28th, and there's really no point in giving you a reading just for this couple of days at the end of October. So this reading is going to be from now until the middle of November. It's going to be until the 15th of November. So this is going to cover the last few days of October, going right into November for you. And bringing yours out first because, like I said, I did run out of time, and I'm really sorry. So if you need to know anything else about this reading, it is down in the description below, along with my email address if you would like to speak to me about having a private reading. I am open for private readings right now, and they are booking up quickly going into Christmas, so I would suggest that you get your space booked if that is what you're going to be the gift that you're going to give yourself this year. All right. So this reading is for you, Aquarius, for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And it is from now until November the 15th of 2019. So again, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Jupiter from today until the middle of November, which is the 15th, 2019. Please tell me, Spirit, what is the most important thing that our collective Aquarius needs to know? Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What is the most important thing our Aquarius collective needs to know from now until November 15, 2019? Thank you. Okay, I think we can cut. There we go. First card is the strongest, right? There we go. Oh, we started with the Queen of Coins. So the Queen of Coins is the Queen of Pentacles. She is the busy queen. She is busy, busy, busy. She is on ladders painting. She is rearing the children, planning the meals. She's cooking. She's taking care. She's charitable. She is beautiful. As you can see, she takes really good care of herself. She is the one that everyone looks to, they want to be like her, because she just has it all together, and she's doing it all so effortlessly. She is the queen who is she's the queen who is the most charitable. With her time, with gifts, with money, with love, she's charitable with all of that. And then it looks like the Nine of Coins. Are you single? I'm talking to my single Aquarius friends. So the Nine of Pentacles usually shows up when you are single and abundant, and people are looking at you like, wow, you know, this person has got like this confident aura. She is single. She's taking care of herself, paying her bills. She's got the career going. She's doing everything. She kind of sounds like a queen of coins in training. So actually, if you look at it, right, she is the Nine of Coins, and just one more coin is going to give her her abundance. So she is not necessarily looking for the other coin, but she is always on the lookout for it. Now, there is a Queen of Coins here, and there is a Nine of Coins here. And it could very well be that they're coming up together because these are, you are either the Queen of Coins or you are the single person who is the Nine of Coins. The Nine of Coins person is probably getting their information. I feel as though they're confiding in the Queen of Coins for information about what to do next in their life. Because if you were already at the Nine of Coins, you kind of want to be a Queen of Coins, right? And there comes the King of Coins. So I see we've got a match set here. We've got some bookends. So it looks like somebody has got a soulmate connection here. That's what that is, soulmate connection. The interesting thing is it has come out like this, with a single person in the middle, and that's kind of curious. So you can see the two of them here and the single person in the middle. That is kind of curious, so we're just going to keep reading and see what's coming up here. And the Queen, by the way, is looking away from the King, which is interesting as well. Looks like there's some arguing going on. It could very well, I have a feeling it's between the King and the Queen. It is, the Five of Swords can be an internal argument. It can also be something that is frustrating externally. So these are swords, right? You are a sword sign, you are an air sign, which is swords. It's words that are, could be internally said. This person could be in an internal struggle. This is coming up by the King of Coins. So the King of Coins could be in an internal struggle. The King and the Queen are looking away from each other, so I have a feeling that there might be a bit of a rift going on. And this is sort of the mindset of the King. It's kind of far away from the Queen to be her, but I have a feeling that the King has been how do you say, is having an internal struggle about something. And it brings him to a Tower moment. So the Tower moment will come in one of two ways. The Tower moment could be happiness. You've won the lottery. That's a Tower moment. The Tower moment could be a sad moment. You know, you are an offender bender. That's a sad moment. But the 10 or the Tower moment is a Major Arcana card. So the Major Arcana cannot be changed. It is something that's already in process, something that you are going to have to go through in order to be able to learn that step. Now, you know, the thing is that the universe only steps in when you haven't done the work. So this could be being in a marriage for a very long time that should have been concluded long ago, but here comes the Tower, because the universe is shaking things up, saying it is time. It's time for you to move along. So it looks like this internal struggle is perhaps with the King and the Queen, because the Queen is coming out. This way is how it's come out, and you'll see that they're kind of looking away from each other, and that was kind of suspect for me. Okay, so coming up under the Queen of Coins is the Palace of Swords. So the Palace of Swords is the Palace of Swords. The reason why I love this deck, the Ciro Marchetti deck, is because there's 4 cards in here that isn't in any other deck. And this is one of those cards, the Palace cards. So the Palace is about the home. And the Palace of Swords is about a lot of communication. So there's lots of communication going on in this home. And that's what's building it up as a palace. A lot of communication. This is exactly where the Knight of Swords will come from. The Knight of Swords is usually around the palace, protecting it. So the knights are protecting all of the secret conversations that are going on between the king and his men, essentially. Coming up under the 9 of Coins. So the Palace of Swords, by the way, is coming up under the Queen of Coins. The Queen of Coins could be living in that palace and is not happy with what is going on there. She looks like she's looking away from her king, and her king is looking away from her. He's looking towards the 5 of Swords, so and the Tower moment. So I have a feeling that she's not happy. She's not happy in this union with the King of Coins. The thing about soulmates, people, is that we could be soulmates with somebody, but there are friend soulmates. When we say soulmates, we talk about you not knowing someone by face or by body, but knowing that you've known that soul before. That's a soulmate. That can be in love, that can be in friendship, that can be with your child, that can be You know, I think that some people think that the word soulmate is really a notation for love only, and it's not. It can be for friendship as well. I have a BFF that's a man, and I have a BFF that's a woman, and I feel that they're both my soulmates. So, yeah. Let's look more here. Under the 9 of coin comes the 10 of wands. And the 10 of wands is about dropping burdens. So I feel as though that the 9 of coins, so the person who is single, could have split up this marriage, or could have come along after this marriage was already split. And this person has, it looks like there's been a lot of burdens between the two of them, between the king and the queen, because although this is coming up on the second line, this is still below the 9 of coins, and it is ending up between the queen and the king. So I have a feeling that this union has had a lot of burdens, and perhaps it was just more than everybody could take. Coming up under the king of coins is the ace of coins. So he is giving his coin away. He's giving his coin to someone who is going to grow it with him. And guess what? We have a 9 right here. We have the single person that is the 9 of coins, and this coin is a gift. It's a gift of love. It could also be an apology. It could be just a gift in general. Usually the gift is given to someone who they want to be abundant with so they can plant it and grow more. So this is coming up under the king of coins. Coming up under the 5 of swords is justice. So justice usually comes up when there's a decision to be made, hard decisions to be made. This justice is going to even the scales. And it is something that may be a judgment in your favor. It could be a judgment that you make against someone else that may be in your favor, or a judgment that's made in your favor. But nonetheless, a judgment needs to be made here. Hard decisions need to be made here. And I think that's what made me throwing the king into this 5 of swords moment. So the justice card, it comes out usually when hard decisions need to be made. Coming up underneath the tower is the 6 of cups. So it looks like someone's come back from the past. This could be the tower moment. It could be the thing that the king has been thinking about, someone who is in his past that he has unfinished business with. And that's coming up under the tower. Coming up by the queen is the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is here, and it's divine timing. What I see in this corner here with the queen is the queen. I see the single woman that she's not looking at. I also see the Palace of Swords, which I feel as though she doesn't want to live in anymore. And then the burdens of the 10 of Wands that need to be put down. This could be the wheel that turns everything into the next part of your life, essentially. So the wheel usually comes up when the universe has got a hold of something and they're saying, this is the thing that you need, but I'm not telling you what this is because it's divine timing. I always call this the none of my business card, because no matter how many times I try and clarify it for a timetable, I always get another wheel or something that just doesn't relate to the card at all. I haven't been able to successfully clarify the wheel, quite honestly. So I have a feeling that the queen is pushing this, that this wheel is going to be pushed forward to move this relationship apart, I think. That's my intuition here. That's what it's telling me. Yeah, because someone's going to be left out in the cold. So that's exactly what it is. The wheel is going to turn and this marriage is going to break. It looks like there may be someone in the middle that could be breaking this marriage. This person definitely could have shown up after, but I don't think that's true. And I do think as though this woman is out in the cold and, she could be getting help from whoever's in that church behind her, but she's not asking for help. She may be too proud. And that can happen when too many pentacles are involved. When you have a lot of money, you tend not to ask for help because you think money might help it. And sometimes it's just not the case. It could make it worse. And then we look at the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords comes up usually when somebody needs to have the energy or the mindset to think logically, head over heart. So there needs to be some tough decisions. This card is right under this card. So this Queen of Swords will show up. And just remember not to get hung up on the gender of the card. So it could be Queen or King, right? So the Queen, in this case, the Queen of Swords, isn't she beautiful? She is beautiful. She's always thinking, and she is always at the ready with her sword. She will cut you. She can cut you with her words. She always knows what to say. Her words are very pointed and very, she says things with intent. So when she says those things, she means those things. It's not a slip of the tongue. It's not anything like that. She usually comes in with an idea and has to relay it. And she can cut you with her words. They're very... she can be very honest, which can seem very harsh. Interestingly enough, that Queen of Swords, she's coming up by the woman who's been left out in the cold. So she could be coming essentially to the rescue. She also is coming up touching the King, though. So, I don't know. Let's keep reading. It's the Chariot. So whatever is coming up quickly. I love this depiction of the Chariot. Look at that guy. He is holding on to those horses for dear life, and rightfully so. If he lets them go in opposite directions, he's dead. Everybody's going to die, everyone in this chariot. So this can mean things that are moving quickly. So after you speak with the Queen of Swords, these things can be moving very quickly. Whatever you speak about. It can also mean that the person that you speak with could be a Cancer. This is the card of Cancer. It could also mean that this conversation that you're having with the Queen is going to be something that is going to come into you very quickly. You might be going to the Queen for advice. Could very well be. The Queen is very good with thinking logically, and sometimes the kings and other queens, you know, you could have a friend who is the Queen of Swords, someone who you confide in, that might just give it to you straight, and that's exactly what you need. The Four of Coins. This can be a couple of things. This can be feeling closed off, very closed off, and it is usually someone who is holding things close to the chest. So they're thinking up things, they're coming up with a plan, but they're not telling everybody. And that is because they just don't want to jinx it, one, or they just don't have the plan in place yet. So this is usually someone who is hiding something. You know, this person is showing off, you know, the coins in here, but very close to the chest. A little bit closed off is what that card is about. Being a little bit closed off. It's the miserly card. So when you're miserly, you're not really sharing anything. Not money, not thoughts, not wishes, nothing. You're not sharing anything. You're just keeping it all to the chest. And it makes sense, because if you've already been hurt, if you are in fact out in the cold, and you have been hurt by the Queen of Swords, it could very well be. Two of Cups. Then comes the Love. This card, by the way, is touching the Queen of Swords. I have a feeling that the King of Coins is probably going to consult with the Queen of Swords. It looks like for reasons such as this, it looks like it could be something in love, but he's keeping it close to the chest. So he's not going to tell her, but they're going to have a conversation. However, I think this is how he's feeling. I think this king is in love with somebody else. And that's why we have the King and the Queen looking away from each other with a single person in the middle. This Queen could very well be single. Last card. It is the Sun. So, you know, the thing about the Sun is it illuminates everything. It doesn't only illuminate every one, it illuminates you too. So the sun comes and brings illumination, and so you don't have any guesswork. You can see everything. Everything around you is illuminated, and there's no guesswork. And that also means that the light and the dark cannot occupy the same space, and that means that everything that was in the dark will now be illuminated. So that means anything that you might have had in the dark could be illuminated as well. So it's a double-edged sword. It is a card of happiness. It is, because who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want the happiness? This is one of the apex cards in the deck. Who doesn't want to have everything everything seen, everything growing, everything flourishing? Who doesn't want to have the dude with that body? But he is strong. He's holding up the sun and the earth, and everything is illuminated. Every planet, the sundial, like everything in this card is illuminated, and that's exactly what you're headed for, is sun. So the fact of the matter is I do see a relationship breaking up here. It could be a relationship with a king. Could be that this king has had it on his mind to leave the queen for a while, and that the queen wasn't happy there anyway. So I really feel as though that when you stay in a relationship that no longer serves you, that you are not only holding back your blessings, you're holding back the blessings of the person who is also in that relationship. So if you're not happy in that relationship, neither is that other person, or they just don't understand that being in a relationship where the other person isn't happy isn't really conducive to happiness. Sometimes we get into relationships and they can get stagnant, and we just do the same things over and over again. We just go with the flow, right? That's because it is what we've always done. Doesn't mean you have to have a divorce, but in this case, it looks like this is either a relationship or a marriage that is breaking up, and looks like the king is probably finding someone else, while the queen is just going off to build another palace, just another castle. A loyal heart. Let me just see what that means. Put all the specs. The loyal heart is 35, and 3 and 5 is 7. 7 is heaven. So same as done above is done below. And 35, 32, 34, 35. Loyal heart, fidelity, loyalty, and devotion. Your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest, devotion, faithfulness, and loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return? Now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in divine protection. The thing is that we do have a card of divine timing here. We do have a card that shows that the wheel is going to be turning in, and it's when the wheel turns, it looks like it's going to be putting someone out into the cold. So the wheel is going to turn in divine timing. Someone is going to be left out in the cold from this relationship, and someone is going to find another person, and someone else is just going to go on and be single. So it's not always something, when the wheel turns in your favor, it really is in your favor, but it may not look like that to you at the start. So I hope that was a clear enough understanding of what's going on here. I just couldn't write this stuff myself, quite honestly. I just love doing these readings for you. So I thank you very much for stopping in. Thank you for sharing and subscribing. I'm going to be coming at you with your weeklies pretty soon, and now that I no longer have a day job, I could come do this for you full time. So if you feel in your heart that you might be able to make a donation, you can go to my About page, and you'll see that my my PayPal information is there if you're interested in making a donation. If you're not, just please keep coming back and watching, because I love to do this anyway. It just does help keep the channel going for me, and helps me to keep doing what I'm doing for you, the thing that I love. So thank you so much for coming, and I hope you have a good day, Aquarius. Thank you. Bye-bye.